So don't just throw no lash business together, please. I'm your pink starburst. Did it for 1 week. When I tell you, my clients was like, don't ever do this again. Don't put this on my face again. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Joydan. Today's video is going to be on beginner lash tips, things that can help you as a beginner lash artist, things that I found helpful, things that I teach my students in our lash courses, as well as my marketing ebook and my online lash training is down below. I can't believe it's helping so many of y'all. Like, I love that for y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. These are just some things that can help you have an easier lash journey than most of us didn't know what was going on. But let's go ahead and get into the video. The first thing is consistency. I know I say this in all of my videos, but just being consistent is gonna set you apart from 90% of all the other people who are starting with you. For example, if I do a training today, it's 10 people. Majority of those people are not gonna start after the training class. You're gonna have the people who are, and I don't know why people do this, but they'll be like, oh, well, I don't wanna tell anybody. I just wanna be a perfect lash tech and then start my business. Don't do that. Everybody is gonna grow at a different pace. And if you are gonna wait until you are perfect to start, you might as well not start, because nobody in the lash industry is perfect. Me doing this 5+ years, I'm still not perfect. None of us. It's really trial and error, and that is the beauty of your lash journey, because you get to figure out what is going to make you unique. So most people, what they're gonna do is they're gonna take a client today, you know, model, or first client today, and then they're not gonna do their second model for 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now. Like, regardless of if it was good and it was easy, or if it was hard and it was horrible. I've seen it happen so many times where the work is absolutely beautiful for a first-time lash tech, and then they're like, okay, well, I just want to do like 50 more people for free and then I'll start. And I'm like, don't do that, please. You are gonna get so comfortable doing just models and free work that when it's time for you to take that first paying client, you're gonna be so nervous, like you're not gonna know what to do. Once you're done with your training, start immediately after. Do 1 or 2 sets on that mannequin, and then just start on somebody you are comfortable with. Yes, this is where, in one of my videos, I told you when you are working on somebody you are comfortable with, it is gonna take you a little bit longer because you don't have that pressure under you. But do somebody who you are comfortable with. That way you kind of are gonna rush you like somebody who is a paying client. Then after that, I usually tell my students, don't do more than 3 people who you are, you know, super close with in the beginning, because if you just doing all family and friends, that's not gonna build your business. And number 2, that's not gonna be able to build your skill set. Consistency. So whenever you do start, be consistent. But the second tip is to start. Just actually start. Just start, okay? Don't procrastinate after you take that training, because the skill set is going to decline. Start, post. You need models, ask family and friends, text whoever you need to, get them in, get them on their lash bed, finish a couple of sets, and then start your business. Like, start your business before you take the lash class. Go ahead and be in that mindset of being a business owner. Go ahead and have that Instagram ready, Facebook ready, all of the accounts and stuff that you need. You don't have to have an LLC when you first start. Go ahead and just have that business presence for your business. I train so many people and they're like, oh, I don't have a Facebook, I don't have an Instagram, I don't have a TikTok, I don't use social media. Cool, for you, for like your personal account and personal, whatever you got going on, that's fine. But as a business, you cannot not have social media. And as a lash tech, you have to have an Instagram account. And I would definitely recommend having a Facebook account too, just because Facebook has a whole bunch of Facebook groups where you can interact with other lash artists and get advice from them. But also, a lot of your older clientele are gonna find you off of Facebook. Instagram, you need Instagram simply because Instagram is your portfolio. So if you're any type of service provider, hair, lashes, nails, anything. I mean, even if you're selling clothes, people have to see your work or what you're offering. Like, yes, you can just have a site, but you need an Instagram account so people can see your work. That's a big thing that I have noticed with a lot of my students. They won't know how to work Instagram, they won't know how to work Facebook, and the easiest thing to do is just get on YouTube and look up tutorials. I always tell them to look up the Instagram algorithm for business accounts, because that is completely different than the Instagram algorithm for a personal account. Just a tip, you can get shadow banned a lot easier on your business account than on your personal account. And if you don't know what that is and you're a Lash Tech business owner, anything, you need to exit out of this video and go look at it. There's so many different things that a lot of people don't know about running a business account on Instagram that's stopping you from getting in front of a lot of people. Definitely keep up to date with that. The next tip is, a lot of things in this industry is going to be trial and error. From tweezers to glue, primer, bonder, the actual lashes that you use, taping methods, how you take your pictures, videos, how you promote, how you run your ads, how you run your whole business. Most things are going to be trial and error. Now, there are some things that are a definite set in stone, like you have to have an Instagram account. You have to have, well, you don't have to have good customer service, but I would recommend that you do. You know, why wouldn't you have good customer service? But I've seen some people, you know what, you can do whatever you want to do. The whole point of this tip, you can do whatever you want to do in the lash industry with your lash business. What this person uses for glue is completely different than this person, because y'all have two completely different humidities, temperatures. You may be somebody who lives in a small town. So whenever I was in a small town in North Carolina, the only sets, I only got classic and hybrid sets. I remember I had 1 or 2 volume sets throughout that whole year. It just depends on your demographic and where you're from. So if I was somebody who just wanted to do mega volume in the small town that I was in, I wasn't gonna make no money. Now I'm in Atlanta. Yes, it is predominantly a mega volume type of city, but I've established my business as I'm only doing wispy hybrid over here. So if you want mega volume, you gotta go down the street to the other girl. But because I had already established my business in a different state, coming to another state, it was a lot easier for me to do that. But if you go watch the Lash Journey video, it won't that easy. But basically, in that tip, we're just saying what this person can do, you might not be able to do. What something that helps your business might not help this person's lash business to grow. Another thing with this, using decurl on every client, let's really sit and talk about that. I'm probably gonna pause this video and put the TikTok right here of
talk about lashing women of color and just some mistakes that I have made in the past and things to look out for when lashing women of color. Okay, the first things first is stop giving them decurl, okay? I just feel like decurl is so tight, it gives off a more dramatic look than what the set actually is. And I honestly feel like if you want to use decurl, mix it, okay? Decurl is such a strong, prominent curl. You definitely want to mix it, especially when women of color. I feel like when we first get started, we're always giving our clients decurl. Second, the one thing that I used to do, I used to give my clients basically almost one length, and with the decurl and the dark lashes on the darker tone, it definitely gave caterpillar. And lastly, I know you guys don't want to tussle me, but listen, I've been there, done that, and I'm literally just speaking from my own personal opinion. Lastly is making the sets extremely full. They're so full that they're beating mega volume. They're almost like mega volume sets, okay? On the darker skin tones, when you give your client such a dark, full look, it honestly takes away from your client, not the set, your client. I know that we post on social media, we're trying to give our clients nothing but full coverage, we're getting every last piece of hair, correct? But it honestly is taking away from the beauty of the darker skin tone. The darker tone and the darker lashes are color contrasting, and it's giving your client a very non-sophisticated look, and it's just giving trend.
She's a lash tech. I'm actually gonna link her YouTube down below. And basically, she's going in detail about why you do not need to put decurl on every client. I think I talked about it in my last journey video, but the first move to Atlanta, everybody in the salon was using decurl on everybody. So, well, I want to see what the hype is about. Did it for 1 week. When I tell you, my clients was like, don't ever do this again. Don't put this on my face again. So that was when I realized, okay, let me just stay in my, C-curl lane. So decurl does not look good on everybody. And I tell all my students, use C-curl unless your client asks for decurl, because C-curl is gonna look good on everybody. Decurl does not look good on majority of people. And you can have a lash tech say, oh, well, I use decurl on everybody. It doesn't go with every eye shape. Along with, if you do have majority African-American clientele, decurl and super full mega volume lashes take away from the features in our face. So if that's something that you want to do, now I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you are starting off and you haven't established your business or your clientele, I would recommend not making mega volume or super dark, full, fluffy decurl lashes your image for your lash business. That's if you are, number one, a beginner and you don't, you haven't solidify your clientele. And number two, if you know that you're probably gonna have majority African American clients, because it don't look right. I'm not telling you to change up if you are a D-curl on all your clients type of lash tech, mega volume, and it's working for you. So don't get mad at me, okay? The next tip is take your time. Be aware of your time. Always have your phone somewhere beside you so that you can see how long it is taking you to complete your sets. The biggest thing is going to be that tape down. If that tape down is good, you're good, and it's probably gonna be a smooth sailing lash appointment. If that tape down is messed up in any kind of way, anything is sliding, it's gonna take you longer. And it still will happen to me, and I've been lashing for 5 years. So depending on what tape I use, I'm gonna link it. I'm gonna put a picture right here. I'm gonna link it down below, because this tape is better than the blue neck scare tape. If you know, you know. That tape is really good, but this one, go buy this tape. It's so good. I've been using it for the past week, and when I tell you it is secure, make sure you have a good tape and good tweezers, and you'll be good. Your timing will eventually go down, but your time is not gonna go down if you are not taking clients. You don't have to do multiple people in a day, but if you have a model or a client today, you need to be doing somebody else within the next like 3 to 5 days, just so you can enhance those skills. Because if you do somebody, like I said earlier, if you do somebody today and you do your next client in 2 weeks, that time is not gonna go down. This is another tip. When you take that first person who is not a paying client, you don't know this person, this is not your mama, sister, aunt, you don't know this person, and they are paying you whatever that special price you run in, $50, $80, do not, I don't care if you haven't done anybody before, or if you've done 50 people before this person, do not be nervous. Or if you are nervous, do not show to your client that you are nervous. Be professional, have a good attitude. Do not be like, oh, I haven't done lashes before, I don't know what I'm doing, because she's gonna go home. Be confident. You've taken a course, you know what you're doing. Whether you've done models before or you haven't, you know what to do. A lot of people can kind of just get anxiety about, oh, this is new. It is new. You might be nervous and you might be anxious about it, but please don't let that show to your client, because if it does, it's gonna make them uncomfortable, and they may not let you do their lashes. Number one. Number two, they might not return, because that's like you going to go get your hair bleached from somebody and they like, oh yeah, I ain't never bleached no hair before. Okay, so I'm gonna go home. Don't be nervous. You know what you're doing. Take your time, but do not show to your client that you are nervous. Please be very confident within yourself. You chose this career path or this side hustle or hobby, whatever this is to you, you chose this for a reason. Be confident in it and understand that your day one is not somebody else's day 500, 5,000, which leads me into the next tip. Do not compare yourself in this industry, okay? I will never go to somebody's page who's popular for mega volume and be like, oh my God, I wish I could do that. Oh my God, she charging $350, $400 for mega volume. I wish I could do mega volume like that. No, I don't. Okay, please do not compare yourself to somebody else's. And a tip about that is because I know personally from having friends who do that type of work, the type of clientele that you get from doing those type of lashes is completely different than the clientele that I have, where it's like, hey y'all, I just do cute little wispy hybrid sets. Like, that clientele is usually the celebrity clientele, which we can have a whole video on that. The celebrity clientele, the Instagram models, the bottle girls, the strippers, the dancers. And they're cool people, but I don't need you as a client, because the type of, what's the word I'm looking for? The type of complaints or the just issues that they be having with those type of clients, I don't want it and I don't need it, and I don't have that with my type of clientele. Whenever you are figuring out in the beginning what you want to do or how you want to structure your business, make sure you are looking at all of these aspects. Now, I'm not saying stay away from that type of clientele or stay away from doing mega volume and stuff like that. But if that is something that you want to do and making the $350, $400 a set is more important to you than what type of clientele that you have, then go for it. But then on the other end, you could charge, I am rambling. So on this end, you could charge $400 for a make volume and have all the celebrity clients and things like that, but they are going to be very much so picky. They're going to ask you, hey, I need you to come for a home lash appointment. They're going to be blowing your phone up asking, okay, well, I don't care that you have a full day of clients. I need you to come to my house right now and do my lashes because I got to go out of town by 8 p.m. tonight, so I need you here in 30 minutes. So you have that. Then on the other end, you can charge super, super low. You're having like special prices all the time where you just get anybody who just want their lashes done for cheap. And then, you know, they're gonna go back and forth with you with your pricing simply because, oh, well, it's already cheap. Well, they're gonna feel like you don't have a good established business. Like, why are you charging that low? You must be new and your work can't be that good. So I'm gonna go back and forth with you. They're gonna ask for refunds. They're gonna be picky just like the other group, but it's gonna be like, oh, it's been 6 weeks and I know I didn't come for a 2 or 3 week fill-in, but all of my lashes are off. I want a refund. Okay, so it just depends. So I'm in the middle. My girls ain't causing no problems, but I have friends on both sides of the spectrum who do have issues and don't have issues. So it's up to you whenever you are figuring out what type of clientele you want, how much money you want to make, what type of lash sets you want to do. Make sure you consider the pros and cons to each and every one of those things because it's all gonna come with something. So me doing, you know, hybrid, I don't really get a lot of classic and I may get 1 or 2 volume a month, but majority of mine is hybrid set, wispy hybrid. Majority of my clientele are business owners, entrepreneurs, working class, 9 to 5. On the older end, because of my prices. Whenever I raised my prices, I started getting an older clientele. Before I raised my prices a year or 2 ago, it was a lot of same clientele, just a little bit younger. Research clientele, target audience. Going over target audience is something that I talk about in my ebook. It is down below if you do need help with that. Just certain things, trying to figure out what type of clientele you want and what type of clientele is going to automatically be drawn to each set. So that's a big tip. Figure out which lane you want to go in. And that's why I tell people don't compare. The next thing is, so once you figure out all of that and how much you want to charge, what type of clientele you want, this is where you want to run a special. You do want to run a special. You can either run this special for however long until you feel comfortable, or you are going to just run a special on a specific day, preferably a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. But your special is going to show you the type of people who are attracted to you and your work. Even though you may be charging lower than what you're regularly gonna be charging, you'll kind of get a feel for your clientele. Don't do that. Even if you are a beginner, do not run a $50 lash special. The lowest I would say is like 60, 65, but the best thing you can do is run a special for 80. If you don't want to charge, you know, $100 for a special, the best price I can tell you is run a special for $80 and only do 1 set. I'm gonna tell you that in a second. Hold on, because I'm getting confused. The $80 specials, that's a good price range to stay in for however long you want to. One of my closest friends does that. She'll just run $80 lash specials for months, and you can make a lot of money just doing that. If you don't feel comfortable charging what you originally thought you want to, but please don't start your lash business without having a vision for your lash business. Because if you just start off like, oh, I'm just about to start doing lashes, hey, y'all come to me. And it's okay if you don't know what you want to specialize in, but specialize in something. But just make sure you learn good taping techniques. And you can easily go on Pinterest, YouTube, look up videos of different taping techniques. Inner corner and outer corner, if those are an issue for you, there's taping techniques for that. I recommend always tape the lid up. That gets the lid off of the tape at the bottom, so you don't have those stickies whenever you're about to pull the tape off. It helps with isolation. Just make sure that their eyes are not wide open when you tape. The next thing is just tips for glue ring. Make sure that glue ring is pointed straight up. Do not have it twisted to the side. You don't have to worry about that glue ring. I know whenever I do train students, I always show them, and I wish I had a glue ring and some glue to show y'all. A lot of my students will be like, oh my God, what if I get glue all on my client's face from the glue ring? If your glue ring is overfilled, number one. Number two, if your glue ring is tilted to any side, then that is a possibility. If that glue ring is pointed straight up with only 1 to 2 drops, That's not gonna happen. And it has that ring around it too. If you have a glue ring, you can go look at it right now. Take your glue ring, 1 to 2 drops in it, have it pointed straight up, and literally if you turn it like this, it's not gonna drip out. You can turn it upside down, it's not gonna drip out. Now don't be turning your glue ring upside down on top of your client's face. Don't do that. But just, you know, get comfortable with your glue ring, learn how much glue needs to go in there before you actually start taking clients and things like that. So you know, okay, I can put 2 drops in here, but if I put 3 and I turn the wrong way, a little bit of glue is gonna drip out. Also, make sure you are changing out your glue ring every 15 to 30 minutes. After that, toss that glue ring and get another one. I don't know if y'all saw that TikTok, and a lot of people post this video or different variations of this video, but they're like, the glue ring, the glue, if you just throw it in the trash can, it can start a fire. No. Okay, so it's not gonna start a fire, but if you put a cotton ball by your glue ring, you'll see smoke come out. And it's not like a whole bunch of crazy smoke or anything, but what you can do to prevent it happening is put your old glue rings in a bottle of water and it will just neutralize that glue. So those are all tips for your glue ring when you first start off. The next thing is just know basic lash mapping. So me personally, I always teach my students 4 maps. These are the 4 maps that you need to know. It don't matter what clientele you want, it don't type of sets, all the way from classic to mega volume, it don't matter. You need to know these 4 sets. You need to know a cat eye set, a doll / open eye set. People call it either one. So you need to know a cat eye, a doll eye, a cat eye wispy, and a doll eye wispy. You can get by with just those 4 sets. Now, if you do a different map on each person, that's fine too, but trial and error, figure out what works for you. As a beginner, you can definitely get through your clients with just those 4. I do teach those 4 in my lash training, which is linked down below, but you could also look it up on YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, anywhere. But I will say, I do simplify it, because one thing about it, y'all see, I'm gonna show an example of this lash map right here, and then I'm gonna show you the cat eye lash mapping that I'm gonna do. Please don't make mapping more difficult than it is. And if you don't know, if you are a beginner, you probably are like, oh, well, I probably do have to use 10 different links in one set, and that's not true. Use 2 to 4. The most I would say is 5. It's not necessary, and it wastes products and it wastes money. It's gonna come out the same way as if you use 2 or 3. So don't get finessed out here. And the last tip I just want to say is find something that sets your business apart from everybody else's. Whether that be, you want to be known for the classic set, like customer service. I feel like if you have good customer service, please market off of that. That's what I did in the beginning, and I still do it now. Especially being in Atlanta, where everybody's rude as a business owner, especially if you are in a big city. If you've ever been a server or just worked in the service industry, play off of your customer service skills, please. I went to a lash tech where she had pink starburst for all of her clients. That's so cute. I'm your pink starburst. Like, that's so crazy. And I thought that was such a good idea. That's so unique. I've never been to somebody else and they've done something like that. Just think of something that can set you apart and give people an experience. So don't just throw no lash business together, please. You can really make a lot of money in this industry. You can really go far in this. Those are my tips. I'm sure they will help you as a beginner. Please don't give up. That's the biggest takeaway from this whole video. Y'all really don't want me to start preaching, because I will. Don't let nobody, your parents, siblings, other family members, nobody else tell you anything about your business. Oh, I don't think you should start a lash business. Don't let nobody else tell you about your business. Definitely comment down below if you have tried any of these tips, if they work for you, or if there's anything that you just didn't know that I put in this video. So hopefully I do help some of y'all, because it is scary, especially if you don't know what's going on. My online lash training is down below. It is $25 right now, so you can purchase that down below, as well as my marketing secrets. That ebook is also down below as well. So I hope these tips help y'all, and I will see y'all in my next video.